Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques. Jacques. What's up, y'all? What is going on, folks? Hello to you.
Hey.
As we get ready for the Seattle Seahawks.
Round two. Hey.
Yep.
Game 2, round 2. Woo, going to Seattle.
Yep.
The land of the 12th man.
Yep.
And no pun intended. I heard it's a hard place to play. They breaking sound barrier records and stuff.
Yep, that's right.
Oh man, this is gonna be interesting.
It will be. It will.
I don't know how y'all feeling. But they say leave the past in the past, right?
Yep.
Lead, and that taste is still kind of sour in my mouth from last week, but I'm trying to forget it, trying to put it in the ground, trying to bury it. But it's tough, man.
Yep, it's tough. It's tough, man. Well, I will say this real quick, man. The shirt that I'm rocking is from Cartel Lifestyle. My cousin Daniel is the CEO, man. You got to check out the website. The gear is awesome. They had a pop-up stop at the Trenches in Nashville, Buchanan Street. And in Nashville, as we say, Buchanan Street. So the Trenches is a store that is actually owned by Christian Fulton and his brother. So Christian wasn't there at the store. He's in Seattle, of course. But I went to the store. The store is awesome. Check it out. You know, if the type of gear, similar to what I got on, man, they got plenty there for you, man. The shop is dope. Check out the Trenches. Check it out. And of course, check out my cousin's shop, man. Cartel Lifestyle, man. Hey, he's been going strong, man, for years, man. You got to check out his gear. I got several things. I bought several things today. It's dope. So
definitely gonna have to come down there and support, man, and check it out. So yep. I definitely will be copping some gear.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So Jacques, we are 0-1 going against the 1-0 Seattle Seahawks. And most people are having Seattle like as a Super Bowl contender, like top 5 of the power ranking. They're number 4, okay, overall for the first game of the year. Russell Wilson showed out. Chris Carson showed out. DK Metcalf showed out. I mean, these guys came to play. And, of course, Tyler Lockett showed out. So this is going to be a tall task for the Titans. It really is. And we better be prepared. So the Tennessee Titans can win this football game. Let me just be clear. Okay, we're going to talk about this. So, Jacques, is there what reasons do you think we can beat the Seahawks, man? What do you think is we can beat the Seahawks if we do these things?
All right. So one, the way you so remember the last time we played the Seahawks. Let's go back to memory lane. If we had a little sound bite, let's take it back. It was 2015, 2016, maybe 2016, I believe.
Okay.
Or 2015. One of them. Y'all correct me in the comment section. This is when we had Mike Mularkey, Mariota, DeMarco Murray, Rashawn Matthews, the receiver. Who else did we have? We had Derrick Henry. That year, the Seahawks had the Legion of Boom, Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett, minus DK Metcalf. I think they had Beast Mode. I think Beast Mode was still with them.
Okay.
They had the weapons, the Super Bowl team that they went to the Super Bowl with and won. And we beat them handily, okay? Now, that Titans team wasn't as talented as this Titans team, right? When I go back and I look at that Titans team, now look what they did. They mixed it up. They mixed it up several times, man. Run, pass, trickery play here. And Malarkey and Terry Robisky, they were the basic offense, but they were still able to get it done and beat the Seahawks. It was the weirdest thing. Matter of fact, that was the weirdest year of any Titans fan because we were beating the Green Bay Pack. We were beating teams we weren't supposed to beat. Anyway, let's fast forward to this year, right? Just got our butts spanked.
Facts, no paper.
I look at the Seahawks. Let's look at their roster now. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Gerald Everett, the tight end. He was with LA last year. On the defensive side, Carlos Dunlap, the big defensive tackle from UT, I believe. This team is not as good as that team, right?
Okay.
On paper. We're going to say that on paper. But we see what they were able to do to the Colts. Play action, right? They ran a lot of play action. I heard the Titans were 5% on play action last week. Okay. Point one, start fast. Okay. You have to start fast.
Tell them, Jacques. Tell them, dog.
You have to start fast. Okay. What I seen last week was we started slow. I told you, I don't like when the Titans get the ball first. Sometimes I know it's not their choice. I get it. But I like when the Titans have to defend first because it gives the offense time to get their feet wet, get everything going, and it gives the defense time to get out there and do what they do, right? What I seen last week was when the offense was out there, run. Sluggish. Look lackluster. No energy.
Facts.
With the Seahawks, they score points. Yeah. Okay? We got to start fast. How you start fast is you're going to have to switch up the philosophy, okay? We know the philosophy of the Titans is we run the ball to open up the pass, right? Going to have to be flipped. You're going to have to pass the ball to open up the run. It's kind of weird to say as a Tennessee Titans fan and as a Tennessee Titans analyst and as a Tennessee Titan himself because our identity is to run the ball, right? We've had that since Earl Campbell when they played with the Oilers. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. We're
not used to having this star power in wide receivers. So if I was Todd Downing, I'm looking at the playbook right now. And I'm like, hey, what plays do we have that we can get the offense going? Right? We didn't run a lot of inside slants like we did last year. That was AJ Brown's bread and butter because he can take an inside slant and take it 60 yards and a touchdown. Yep. We didn't do that last week. We did not do that at all last week, right? You barely got your receivers involved early. Now, I understand we got an identity, but we're going to have to switch it up, okay? That's on the offensive side of the ball, okay? And I got one more point on the offensive side. Got a block, too. It all starts in the middle. On the defensive side of the ball, this is where Shane Bowen comes into play, all right? He's going to have to look deep in the playbook. He's going to have to dial up some blitzes early because the thing about Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson's not like Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is all over the place. He's all over the place. He made some plays last week. I was amazed. I was like, okay, you threw it off your back foot, got touched like 4 times. You can't, as any defensive player, it's hard to defend that. I'm sorry, okay? We tried. The thing about Russell Wilson is going to take it. He's going to sit in the pocket. He's going to thread you apart. So it gives you enough time for that pocket to collapse quicker, right? And it's easy to get to him. He's not as fast as Kyler, but he do got wheels. He will take off. He did it last week. But the thing about Kyler Murray versus Russell, he's stationary. You could keep him in that pocket. That's where you're going to need Bud Dupree and Harold Landry to come in and close fast. Because last week, they did good. The defensive line did pretty decent at trying to get pressure. But you're really going to need it. Also, on defense, you got to create more turnovers. More turnovers. More pressure creates more turnovers, right? Third point. You can't – it goes back to starting fast, but you also can't let Seattle start fast either. We got to get off the field off third downs. We got to get off the field on third downs. We got to. If you can't get off the field on third down, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a tick-for-tack day. It's going to be a carbon copy of what happened last week. Same carbon copy. So for me, that's the way we can beat the Seahawks. And one more point, Hawk, too. You know I'm an energy guy. Got to have the energy. Got to have the energy. What about you?
So, think of these names for the Seattle Seahawks, Titan fans that you might not know or privy to. When you look at their roster, right? So I'm looking at their DBs, right? Right now, Jacques, I'm looking at DJ Reed. Who? Trey Flowers. Who? Now I've seen them play. Trey Flowers has been around for a while. This is where you attack the Seahawks on the exterior, right? You throw it vertically, throw it on the outside even, right? Now, I did speak about that with the Arizona Cardinals. I did. And I will say I underestimated Byron Murphy. More than anything, though, Jacques, you and I can go out there right now and play corner the way that the offensive line played.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Yeah. I mean, so Ryan
Tannehill didn't have
facts,
no paper.
Right.
That's
Ryan Tannehill didn't have time to throw to make it even happen, right?
Yep.
AJ Brown is out of shape. Julio Jones is out of shape. It's just, it is what it is. The sun was kicking their tail, okay? So all of that's a part of it. but player for player, if we can block up front, and Seattle's front isn't as fast as Arizona's.
Mm-hmm.
They're a
They're
bigger
big.
front,
They're
a
big.
stronger front, right? I think a better run defense, even though Arizona's run defense was pretty stout last week. When I look at, Carlos Dunlap is the guy, from a pass rush standpoint, he'll bring the pass rush. But on the interior, of course, you got Bobby Wagner. When you look at his stats, Bobby Wagner is probably going to be into the Hall of Fame. Just look at his stats and be like, good Lord, right? So those guys are going to try to stack the box and stop Derrick Henry. I guarantee they're going to do that just like Arizona did. And they did an unbelievable job. Seattle, they're going to try to do the same, but they're not as fast as Arizona. So I think if we can hold up front, it will give Ryan Tannehill enough time to throw the ball, looking for A.J. Brown, looking for Julio Jones, and the healthy Josh Reynolds, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So Chester Rogers will get some playing time, of course. So I think you challenge them vertically. Yes, they got Jamal Adams, the highest paying safety in the league, but Jamal Adams is more of a linebacker playing safety, okay? He's more of a strong safety coming downfield, going downhill. When I look at Diggs, right, Quandre Diggs, I'm like, well, let's challenge them. Challenge them, Tennessee. Challenge them. They're going to try to stop Derrick Henry, okay? And they got a big front four, and their linebackers some big dudes. They're going to be there. They're going to be like, Derrick, we're right here, bro. It's on you, Tannehill. It's on the receivers, right? It's on you to make those plays at the end of the day, okay? So challenge them vertically. Challenge them. Throw it up there. Go for it, right? And on the other side, when I look at it on defense for us, it's going to be a different offense. And when I look at weapons, you look at Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, hey, them boys are good, okay? I'm telling you. So for us, what we have to do is, just like you stated, Jacques, about Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson has that same type of game as far as running. He's a little older, right? And I think he only had maybe 11 yards last game. So, he had a few rushes, but not a whole lot. He wasn't scrambling like he normally does. Rush the passer. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way. If we do not get a pass rush, Russell Wilson's going to tear us apart. I'm telling you. He might throw 400, 450 on us and 3 or 4 touchdowns. We have to rush the passer to help our DBs. I think that's going to be a tall task, to be honest with you. Because I know Bud Dupree right now is a little limping right now. Yeah. He's not on the field. That's not going to look good for Tennessee. So I think more than anything, even if that's a wash, let's go back to offense. Throw the ball. Challenge them vertically. That's what I think, man.
It's facts. I like it.
Yep.
So we know we gave us reasons of why positive reasons of why we can win the game.
Yep.
How can we mimic what we did last week by losing the game? Give us some reasons.
We play like we did last week. We're gonna get thumped. I'm telling you, we're gonna be in the Pacific Northwest getting embarrassed. Okay. I'm dead up serious. I think more than anything, man, the way that we can lose, one is not understanding how good Tyler Lockett is, okay, down the middle, okay, and DK Metcalf. Tyler Lockett had over 100 yards receiving last week. DK Metcalf had 80 yards receiving. They both had 5 catches. So that's a lot of catches for 2 receivers, okay? And Russell Wilson doesn't throw a lot of picks. He kind of struggled last year at the end with picks for some reason, but he normally doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. He is going to challenge our safeties, okay? Right. So Kevin Byard, be ready. Now, as we know, Hooker is injured. He's out. So the former Seahawk will be out there. What's that? I'm sorry.
Was it McDougal?
Yeah, McDougal. Bradley McDougal. The former Seahawk will be out there at the other safety. That concerns me.
Right.
If we are in a one-on-one situation with Tyler Lockett versus Byard or McDougal, we are in trouble.
It's a wrap, dog.
I'm worried about DK as well. For some reason, I think, if they put Christian on him or Jack Rabbit, I think they'll do decent. Not great, decent. Fulton might do better. We'll see. Because he had played the best of anyone on defense last game. That's a fact. But I will say my concern is the vertical inside routes by Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett had 2 touchdowns against the Cardinals. The Colts. Both of them were down the seam, wide open, touchdown.
Right.
Can we cover that? That I don't know. Look at the Arizona Cardinals game. Christian Kirk, 2 touchdowns, right? D-Hop, 2 touchdowns. Right in the seam, right? Same issue. That concerns me. It does. And I'm going to say one thing else. Do not underestimate Chris Carson. Okay?
Don't.
That boy can run. He had 91 yards last game. Chris Carson is a monster. So as James Conner was running and stiff-arming people, Chris Carson can do that even more. Be careful for 32 out there. Chris Carson, be careful. Seattle's pretty good, y'all. I'm telling you. So, what about you, Jacques?
So, speak of Chris Carson, I'm over here doing a little research.
Okay.
The last time we played the Seahawks, this was back in 2017. Okay. And Chris Carson played.
Okay.
At 34 yards. Russell showed out 373 yards, 4 touchdowns, bro.
Ooh, man.
Doug Baldwin.
Yep.
Had 105 yards. They had Jimmy Graham.
Okay.
Tyler had 2 catches.
Yep.
Ironically, on the Titans, that's when we had Eric Decker. You remember we had Eric Decker,
Yep.
Rashad Matthews, Delaney, Jonnu, and I think this was their rookie year.
Yep.
So, I just wanted to look at that, man. It's really blowing my mind with this team, man. How we can lose this game, man? And you stated it perfectly, man. First of all, if the offensive line want to show out like they did last week, Carlos Dunlap's gonna have another 5. He gonna have 5 sacks, okay?
Yeah. Facts, no paper. He's like,
he gonna have 5 sacks, okay?
Yeah.
So on a serious note, if you can't block for Tannehill, you're gonna lose this game, okay?
Yep. Facts.
That's just one on offense, right? On defense, if Shane Bowen calls the same game that he did last week as he did this week, Russell gonna have 400, 500 yards on us, 5 touchdowns. Like you said, DK is a bigger receiver where he's a body receiver, and Russell looks his way a lot, but he doesn't look with his way a lot. But his main target is almost Tyler Lockett. And I told you when we talked about it last week, I said, if somebody scares me out of just receiver-wise, and we'll get to that in a minute, it's Tyler. But if you allow Russell to sit in the pocket, no pass rush, like you said, he's going to tear us up, dog.
Yep.
On offense, watch for Jamal Adams because, hey, Jamal Adams likes to come in that box. He's a blitzer too. So he's an extra blitzer, right?
Yep. So
they can use him as an extra weapon like they've been doing. They did it last week. They probably do it Sunday, tomorrow as well. So when I'm seeing this game, if the Titans don't come out, focus with energy like they did last week, losing. Can't block, you're going to lose, okay?
Yep.
Hey, on defense, Shane Bowen has to call a hell of a game. And I'm not going to say I don't think he can, but it's going to be, like you said, a tall task to come out here and ask you to say, hey, try to get to a Hall of Fame quarterback, which Russell Wilson is going to be. Okay.
Yes, facts. No question.
It's a tall task. If you couldn't do it with Kyler and you got pressure on him, but you really couldn't dial it up, and you had Byard one-on-one with freaking D-Hop, try that with Tyler Lockett.
Yep.
Right? Try that with Tyler. You try it with Tyler. Tyler's a better route runner. No, let me say that. They're about the same as route running. I love Tyler's route running. That's how he kills you. He don't have the speed, but his route running ability is amazing. So, and the Seahawks got a new offensive coordinator. So he's licking his chops and he's like, hey, did y'all see what happened last week? Play action. Look for the play action too. They ran a lot of play action last week. And Seattle don't do that a lot, but they did it a lot last week. And you can do it to the Titans. Watch for the play action. If you can take away the play action, keep him in the thing, you good. But if you don't, it's the same thing he did to the Colts last week. He's gonna do to you too. You see that beautiful pass he threw to Tyler over the shoulder?
Yep.
Tyler adjusted and caught it. Same thing's gonna happen. So I just feel like if you don't get no pressure on Wilson, it's a wrap. If the offensive line doesn't block, which you should be able to, I like Carlos Dunlap, but he's not. It's not Chandler Jones. And like you iterated earlier, that's a facts, no paper. They have a bigger defense.
Mm-hmm.
When the Titans go up against a bigger, slower defense, they tend to be successful. Faster defenses, it's sketchy. But that's another thing too. And also, if you can't get your offense going early, you're going to lose this game. So, man, you said it well, Hawk. Said it well.
Gotcha, brother.
It's easy. You could have did that by yourself.
Right. I got you.
I mean, it's literally it's too easy. I mean, yeah. America has us where we're not going to win the game, and Titans fans probably feel the same way. And
right. Yep. So for us to win this game, who do you feel from the Titans should, will have an impact? Who do you think is going to be like, we won because of this guy right here?
So on offense, I'm going to go with Tannehill. Okay. It's kind of weird to say, but I'm going to say Tannehill because I feel like Tannehill can have an impact with this game because of especially the offensive line. If the offensive line can block,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Tannehill, he had enough experience last week with Julio to be like, okay, I'm learning Julio. I feel like he'll get up to speed. He can do with AJ, but also the extra added weapons that he has as well. And I feel like he's going to take command of more of this offense from Todd Downing because that's his job. The offense, take command of it like you Peyton Manning or Tom Brady. This is your baby, okay?
Right.
Take your baby, do with it. So I feel like if he can come out and have an impact early and fast and get on speed fast, he'll be the reason we win this game. On defense, I'm going to say on defense, impact-wise, I'm going to go with, this is going to sound crazy, Harold Landry.
Okay.
If Harold Landry can get pressure on Russell, at least get a couple of sacks, that can be impactful, especially on defense, because you can throw off the rhythm, you can throw off the momentum, and once you throw off the rhythm and the momentum, and you can kind of take it away from the Seahawks early because you're not only fighting the Seahawks, you're fighting the fans too. Right?
Right.
You're fighting the crowd noise. You want to take the crowd out of it early as well. Take the crowd out of it, kill the momentum by doing that by rushing the passer, getting to Russell. That's the key. You get to Russell, you can win this game on defense.
Yep.
You can't get to Russell? So my impact player on defense would be Harold Landry. What about you?
So for me, offensively, is Arthur Juan Brown from Starkville, Mississippi. It's on him on offense. Now, notice we hadn't said Derrick Henry, right?
That's true. We hadn't said right. Damn,
because I do think Seattle's going to have a game plan for Derrick Henry.
Right.
I do. And I think when that happens, fine. We're going to attack your offensive line is the weakest point of your offense right now. We're going to attack you guys, dare you to run the ball. We're going to stack the box. What's up then? So it's on Arthur Juan to wake up and ball out, okay? When he woke up against the Cardinals, he was cutting up. Even had a beautiful touchdown and an incredible throw by Ryan Tannehill on the touchdown. Watch the replay and watch how he needled the ball between two defenders and got it to A.J. Brown. But this is a game. You don't think A.J. looking over on the other side of the sideline like, I see you over there, DK. We were teammates at Ole Miss. I got you, bro. But I'm the dude. Yep. I'm the dude. I'm the guy from Ole Miss more than you, man. I'm the better receiver. I'm here, right? Because it's going to always be a competition between those two guys. And so I honestly think that A.J. Brown, to win this ball game, A.J. Brown's going to have to at least have 8 catches over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. And that's a tall task to ask. But I'm saying it can happen because of the corners that they have. They can be challenged. They can get beat on that alone. Throw it to A.J. Brown. Don't second guess yourself. Throw it to the man. How many times have you all seen A.J. Brown get a catch and never get tackled from the first guy trying to make the tackle? Never. It never happens, ever. And it's rare. It's rare I've ever seen a receiver like this that catches the ball and always breaks that first tackle. And next thing you know, he's up the field for 50 yards. So Arthur Juan is going to have to be the dude. On the other side of the ball, we are going with his competition from college. That is Jeffrey Simmons. Okay, the Mississippi State. I don't know if you guys have seen the Titan story about AJ Brown and Jeffrey Simmons, the Mississippi story. Man, y'all got to check that out, man. It is incredible. You'll earn more respect for those guys too.
You sure will.
Jeffrey Simmons can be the issue for the Seahawks. Jeffrey Simmons got to play like Mean Jeff. And the thing I see from Jeffrey Simmons, it seems like early in the game he plays with that energy, and then third and fourth quarter
it dies off.
It seems like to die off. And I don't know. I see the energy. I see it, but it's like his rush is not as strong towards the end of the game. I know as the game gets on and things like that, you get tired, but the great ones, they keep going. They keep preserving and they keep making it. And Jeff has greatness in him. I want to see him be consistent. And when I look at the Seahawks offensive line, their interior is pretty good. You got Dwayne Brown and those guys. Hey, Seahawks, they have a pretty good front five as far as their offensive line. But I do think that if Jeff sets it in his mind to say, hey, I'm going at you guys. Because, when I look at, and I said Dwayne Brown's the left tackle. He's a hell of a ball player. I'm thinking of Damian Lewis, the guard. Those guys can be challenged, okay? He could challenge Gabe Jackson and those guys. So let's see what happens. So those are the players I think that could make the impact to win the game.
And it's funny that you speak of that, Hawk, when you said that we didn't mention Derek. I think that's going to happen a lot. I think that's actually going to happen. I think that's throughout the whole season. We're probably going to be that because you have too many weapons on the outside for you to just be like, hey, we're gonna run Derek. I think Derek understands it. I think Derek's at a point in his career, he's trying to get a Super Bowl. He don't care about 2,000 yards and nothing like that. So it's the same thing. But I mean, great points. So I know we went with the impact players for the Titans.
Yep.
Who would be the impact players for the Seahawks that can win them this game?
I don't know if I'm going to take this one from you, Jacques. It's Tyler Lockett, dog. It's Tyler Lockett.
You good.
It's Tyler Lockett. I've been talking about that all. We've been talking about that all week. Tyler Lockett. He's the issue. We got to watch for number 16. He's crafty. He's sneaky. On the inside, if you're not careful, he'll chop you up in those routes. If Elijah Molden's not ready, Elijah Molden's going back to Washington, right? He's like, I know about this place. I played college here, right? Well, you better get your cleats on because Tyler Lockett is out there chopping folks, okay? Man. I'm telling you. And, look at the Indianapolis Colts. Tyler Lockett made them guys look like, amateurs out there. Tyler Lockett is who the guy that I'm worried about. I know they got other players, DK and those guys, and I think we can maintain the best we can. But when Russell Wilson gets loose is when he's going wild with Tyler Lockett. And 16, we better watch for 16. You know what I'm saying? Honestly. And I think, more than that, I think that's the guy we got to worry about, man. What about for you, Jacques?
So you want to put one on defense too?
Carlos Dunlap, bro.
Carlos Dunlap, okay.
We still have issues at right tackle, and Carlos Dunlap is there left in. You don't think he's watching the film of Chandler Jones? Oh, if I do this, I cut around here, I do this, I'm gonna eat. He is right now walking around right now at home like, man, I might get 4 sacks tomorrow, dog. I'm trying to get paid, bro. Let's do this. And Jacques, you made this point, and when we did the show, I was kicked over my laptop. When you was like, Hawk, man, I mean, talking a lot about that right tackle. That left tackle spot was trash too, and it's in Taylor Lewan, just as trash as they were. I said, you're right about that, bro. Both sides, both bookend tackles were garbage. Yep. Carlos Dunlap, dude, he's smiling right now, dog. I'm telling you, he's like, okay. So, what about you, Jacques?
So for me, on offense, I know you took my boy,
Lockett,
Tyler.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna say Russell.
Okay.
So he can be an impact because he has to throw it to Tyler, right?
Yep.
So if you don't get no pressure on Russell, and you allow him to thread you apart in the pocket, or you allow him to roll out, you allow him to be Russell Wilson, he can win the game for them impactfully.
That's right.
On defense, I know you said Carlos, but you also got to watch out for Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams.
Yep. 33.
Like I told you, it's not just his cover ability that I'm worried about. It's his effort to come down in the box and stop Derrick Henry. So his effort to come down in the box and sack Tannehill. Right. Matter of fact, he might lead the game with sacks on their side with 2 or 3. You never really know. With them, you just don't know. So they use him as an extra weapon, like a 12th man on defense, and you can do that. So those are the 2 impactful players. Now, I will say this. I'm looking at the Seahawks injury report, and doubtful they have Rashad Penny, D. Estrich, the receiver, and questionable Damian Lewis.
Okay.
With a groin.
Yep.
D tackle Brian Money and DJ Reader.
I heard about the corner being questionable. I did see that.
Bro.
AJ, Julio, holla at your boy. We here.
Bro. Oh my God. You can see the frustration in my face, bro. It's just
me too.
This team is frustrating, dog. But anyway, those are my 2 impactful players.
So, Jacques, so you say you're frustrated, bro, right?
Okay.
Because I am too, man. I mean,
okay.
This question has to be asked. I mean, I know we talked about, at the end of the game against the Cardinals, are we panicking, right? Now, again, that's been several days ago. And just like, all emotions fleet, change, and everything within the seasons, within the weather, right? Okay. It was hot a few days ago in Nashville. Now it's raining like crazy. So, has your thoughts changed as far as that is concerned? As far as you panicking, are you, I know you say you wasn't panicking. I'm not either. How are you feeling today, bro?
I'm not panicking. I think I'm just more frustrated because I'm going to use this analogy. When you have a kid, we got kids, right?
Yep.
And your kid's a little bit older than my kids. But you have that kid that has potential to be an A student, but he's just frustrating because you gave him all the tools to be successful, or her. You give her or him all the tools to be successful. Yep. You've given them just the pathway to say, hey, if you do this, this is how you can do it. And they continue to do what they've been doing. That's the Titans. And I think I'm more frustrated because it's year after year after year after year after year. I preach consistency, right? Yep. Of late, consistently, we've been going to the playoffs. I will say that. I would take
facts, no paper.
We've had a winning record consistently. Yep. Now it's time to take that mantra that Variable and them use from good to great, right? We're trying to be great, not good. So you bring in all this nice little these nice little shiny trinkets and these nice little tools. You come in and you say, oh man, we done brought it in. Now we about to be the Super Bowl team. Everybody hypes you up, and all of a sudden you lay an egg game one. Now, I'm not panicking because I know eventually it's gonna click. And when it clicks, it's gonna be unstoppable. It's gonna be super unstoppable because when you put it together, it's like you've said this. The Cleveland Browns 2 years ago when they had the team that they put together when they had Odell and everybody. And they said, oh, they Super Bowl team. And they came out and we smacked them up. And we did like the Cardinals did. We hit them in the mouth. Yep. We beat the brakes off of it. We embarrassed them on national TV. Yep. And we got our just dues. That happened to us. And like I've said before, if the Titans will go to the Super Bowl this year, at least make it competitive. But next year, I can see us being more successful next year because it is everybody would be back together. Mm-hmm. You'll have that continuity. Remember, Todd Downing hasn't called an offensive game, bro, since the Raiders. Okay, right. And I don't know how long ago that was, and he's rusty, and it's almost like him too. He has this hot girlfriend, and he don't know what to do with it. He has this hot girlfriend, and she's sitting right here like, and you don't know what to do with it. You don't know how to take her out. You don't know what to do. So I'm not panicking because I know it's gonna click. I'm more frustrated, and I'm more just use what you got, man. Use what you got. Use what you got. And I don't know if it's we talk about this all the time. You got to put in the effort. I mean, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I got these weapons, bro, I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock, maybe even 5 o'clock, scheming, planning, calling old offensive coordinators or a successful offensive coordinator saying, hey, what would you do in this situation if you had Julio Jones? Or I'm calling the Falcons. I'm like, hey, what did y'all do to make Julio successful? What did y'all do? What plays did y'all run? Do you mind if I take a look? Pinch from that, right? That's how you become successful. You're not born successful. You got to pinch and take and learn and make your mistakes. So it's not that I'm panicking. I'm just frustrated because we have something good. And I know it's game one. It's game one. But if they come out in game two, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but if they come out in game two and make it competitive and show at least and say, hey, we're at least doing what we thought we were going to do, then I'm fine. But I'm not panicking because I know it's going to click eventually. What about you?
So my emotions hasn't changed. I still feel the same way. I still feel like the first game was a preseason game for us, more of a realization game, more of let's get over the C-19 and these injuries game, right? And, I know we have some injuries going in. Caleb Farley is going to be out, hurt his shoulder in practice. At least that's what it seems like. He went from healthy to out, within a day. Mm-hmm. I still, I have a concern about our special teams. We haven't said much about that at all. Our special teams stunk, right?
Bullock.
Yep. We got Bullock, exactly, the former Texan. So I don't know how that's going to work, but yep. So, but I would say if anything, I really think we played a bad game, and I'm going to stick to that. And I think we'll make some turnarounds against the Seahawks. I'm not going to guarantee a victory, but I think we'll play better than what we did against Arizona. Seattle, I do think Seattle is a very good football team. I don't know, say Super Bowl team. They're definitely a playoff team, and if they stay healthy, of course. I mean, still got Russell Wilson. He's unbelievable, y'all. Like, he's a Hall of Famer. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Bobby Wagner is going to the Hall of Fame. They got winners on that team. And so, I'm not panicking. Now we start losing AFC games, and yes, but we're still in the NFC. Yep. Let's iron this thing out before we start playing the Colts and them guys, man. So I'm not panicking yet. I'm being as monotone as I can, because when I start panicking, you're gonna hear a different voice. So I'm trying to keep calm, okay, in the midst of the storm. So yeah,
you can use it as a momentum game. Take that momentum and however we do tomorrow. Take that momentum and take it into the Colts, because the Colts game is where I'm going to be really locked in. Right. Because that's the game that you have to win, because you don't want to go down early. Yeah. you don't want to go down early in the division because in order for us to get to the playoffs and get deep, we got to get a home playoff game and we got to win the division. And I'm more worried about the division. These two games, like you said, the Cardinals game, like you said, great point, preseason game. This game, I'm looking at this game 1, and I'm like, let's get some momentum. Let's get AJ up to speed. Let's get Julio back up to speed. If they can come out, Hawk, and they can come up and Tannehill's do, and the defense is half decent, I'm cool.
Yeah,
I'm cool.
Yeah,
I'm cool.
Yeah. Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that ends the show, y'all. As always, thank you for tuning in to the pregame show. As always, we have more shows coming this week, post-game, and also our Apple podcast, Talking Titans with the Homies, which is totally different than what we do here. So, just be ready for that. Again, check out, Cartel Lifestyle Clothing. Check it out on Instagram. Check it out on Facebook. It's dope clothing, Cartel Lifestyle Clothing. As well, check us out on Instagram at Tennessee Titans Weekly, as well as check us out on Twitter at Titans Weekly 24/7 and by email at TennesseeTitansWeekly@gmail.com.
Also, like I tell y'all every show, man, share the show. Get the we're trying to get our subscriber count up, so definitely subscribe to the show and cut your notification bells on by the subscribe button. That lets you know when we go live and when we post any content. Like Hawk said, hey, we're on Apple. Check us out over there. And hey, we're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. Share the show. Tell your auntie, your uncle, your dog, your cat, your cousin. I don't care. Anybody that got ears, share the show. Anybody that's a football fan, share the show. So,
Absolutely.
Hey, let's go down there. Let's attempt to get a victory. Let's bring that momentum back to the Ville and Nashville, and let's get to the Seahawks, and then let's go ultimately get to the coast. So,
absolutely.
Tighten up, man. Tighten up.
All right, folks. We'll see you for the post-game live chop up.
Yep, live.
Check us out.
Raw emotions.
To you and yours, folks. Facts.
No paper.